Everybody. This is May 22nd, 2026, and I'm just giving, I'm sitting in the place where it all started. 32 years ago, I was sitting in this Royal Centre building when I had an interview with Kerry-Lynne Findlay. So Kerry-Lynne was a partner in the firm that I was interviewing with because she had skipped 2 grades and graduated law school at 21. I didn't graduate law school until I was 34. I was the first single mother to graduate law school in British Columbia history. But after I finished my articles, my internship with the Department of Justice, the Federal Department of Justice, I just couldn't find a job and I was desperate. I had 2 kids to support. And Kerry interviewed me and she gave me a job. I started May 24th, 1994. And she literally taught me everything I know about civil litigation. She is the most brilliant person I've ever met, certainly the most brilliant lawyer. I've seen her litigate circles around other lawyers. It's almost funny to watch her in court. She's a 1 in a million, 1 in a 20 million person. She's been elected to Parliament. She has been a member of the federal cabinet. She was the Minister of National Revenue with overseeing 55,000 employees. But she's honorable, which is, I can tell you, from my perspective, you can't always say that about a lawyer. She's honorable and she cares about the small guy, the little guy. And she saw something in me that made her believe that I could make it as a family lawyer. And I have my whole career as a family lawyer up until I was disabled in an accident to thank her. So British Columbia is at a crossing. We have had the most horrific possible governance by David Eby, who I've told you. He locked up my little brother, Paul Karen, 64, with Down syndrome when I complained to the police after I discovered what I alleged to be a fraudulent and forged power of attorney over Paul. So he locked away my little brother for 588 days, and then Paul died alone. He's a very bad man. He's brought in litigation that will send medical practitioners, health practitioners to prison for 2 years if they criticize the government, or they can be fined $200,000. He's an evil man, and we don't have a lot of chances. I worked my ass off in this last election on October 19th of 2024 to try and get the Conservatives elected and John Rustad elected. We don't have a lot of chances left. Kerry-Lynne Findlay does not need us. We need her. She's got a vision. She's a visionary. She's like Churchill at the beginning of World War II. Churchill was 66 at the beginning of World War II. And he faced down the Hitler and his powers, and he created an alliance that enabled us to have the world we have today. And Kerry-Lynne Findlay is a visionary on that scale. So she has her kids, she's got she's got her life, she doesn't need us, but we need her. We don't need any of the other liberals in conservative clothing who have no experience, do not have the portfolio that she's commanded in her career. So whatever the Conservative Party of British Columbia is doing right now, I hope it will lead to a fair election of Kerry-Lynne Findlay, because I'm telling you, nobody could have worked harder. I climbed 663 sets of stairs in Coquitlam in Coquitlam, trying to win for the Conservative Party of British Columbia. Nobody could have worked harder. And you have a lot of people that are hanging their hopes and dreams on Kerry-Lynne Findlay, and she bloody well better be elected the next leader of the Conservative Party of British Columbia and the next and best Premier of British Columbia, our beautiful, beautiful province. I hitchhiked to British Columbia. Well, I first worked as picking cherries in Creston when I was 15. I worked on a farm, brought in all the hay, 40 acres of hay, with a 16-year-old girl, Robin Armstrong. We worked our butts off. And then I hitchhiked, when I was 16, I hitchhiked out to British Columbia. And I've pretty much lived here ever since then. But we're in a terrible shape with these horrible communist NDP that have resulted in the deaths of 15,000 British Columbians from overdoses and driven our economy into the ground, taken a surplus and driven it into a horrific debt. But we have a chance. We've got a shot at turning our beautiful province around, and that shot is named Kerry-Lynne Findlay. Kerry-Lynne for the win. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me personally, Kerry-Lynne, and everything you've done for British Columbia and Canada as a politician. I'm verified. I was verified the first minute you could be verified to vote, and I'm voting for Kerry-Lynne Findlay, and I hope everybody else does too. We don't have a lot of chances left. This is our one kick at the can, and it's Kerry-Lynne for the win.